G'day guys, today I want to talk to you about a bloke who died on the weekend. His name was He served 23 years, I think, in prison for a string of armed robberies across New South Wales, Queensland and the Northern Territory. The past year or so, I came across his Instagram page, and to be honest with you, I thought he was a bit of a flog. Doing videos outside a bank he once robbed, dressed with tight Warwick Kappa shorts on and sometimes no shirt, arms folded, leg up against the wall like he was trying to make out he was really comfortable, explaining to his viewers how he robbed it and so on. Claimed he never hurt anyone in a way to try and justify his crimes as some sort of good Samaritan, for actually not shooting anyone whilst he terrorised the workers to get his fix of cash. I found that attitude atrocious because I'm almost certain that the poor bank tellers who he held a gun to may have been and still are possibly hurt from what happened. Imagine going to work to earn a living. Someone comes in armed with a shotgun to take all the cash they can get their hands on in some short burst of crime. If you've been in this situation, I'd love to hear how it affected you both back then, in the moment, and now, after the event, years after the event. Send me an inbox and we'll see if we can have a chat. Now, constant negative derogatory references to prison officers is something that sparked my interest the most because I've been one since last century. I found them ridiculous, they were unfair, they were biased against the majority of prison officers who, just like bank tellers, are simply earning a living doing a job. He hated prison officers and police. Why? Because he's a criminal. In fact, I've only heard him reference one prison officer in the past who he claims is a good bloke, and from all reports he is a good bloke, but I think it's because he had ties to the boxing community. But as far as the rest of us prison officers and police go, we're just scumbag, corrupt wankers who will never achieve anything. I know there may be a few of people from the boxing community watching this, and all I ask is that you hear my thoughts and concerns in regards to the constant belittling that made towards prison officers and police officers who watch this content. I do not recall running into myself, even though I know people who have served time with him, prisoners, and also officers who have worked with him. I did answer a question on one of his Instagram posts one day. The question was something like, what do you want to see more from me? And I thought, he's not going to read this, but I'll send an answer. I wrote, how about some positive stories of prison officers instead of the negative ones that you're always posting? We're not all bad, or something like that. He sent a voice message to me the next day, basically telling me, his experiences with the one decent dude that he calls a mate, boxing bloke. And I was right, we're not all bad, and if he sees a prison officer or a police officer on the street that he has respect for, he'll stop, he'll shake their hand. He doesn't hate them all. But that wasn't what was portrayed in his social media. So anyway, I wrote back saying thanks for that. It's good to hear that sort of story because we are not all bad. We go to work, we do our job. We're not corrupt. We're not all wankers. We're decent people trying to make a living. Just like the bank tellers. I didn't say that to him, but that's what I was referring to. I asked him would he come on my podcast one day. He actually said he would, but clearly that's not going to happen now because he's passed away.
Good morning, Craig. Yeah, man. I got mates that are the prison officers. He's one of them. It's never that. It's just come across a few real scumbags. In particular, Goulburn and NRC, they're a bit out of control, but nah, man. I understand people are putting bread on the table, and I get it. It's a job at the end of the day. My brother, actually I had two brothers who were prison officers. The second oldest brother, he's no longer with us, he committed suicide. But he loved the job, he got sacked because he bashed another officer. So and thanks for reaching out to me, I appreciate you, I appreciate your kindness and support. And as for the podcast, not a problem. We'll get around on it, 100%.
I saw a post today somewhere on Instagram or Facebook or somewhere about the banks freezing his money and his kids struggling to find the funds to be able to bury it. So they're starting a GoFundMe account. I feel for the kids, I really do. But is this not the biggest case of irony you've ever seen? A bloke who robbed banks, stole from the banks to gain money, has his money frozen by the banks when he dies. Maybe the bank should keep it forever and pay it back. Or maybe they can distribute the wealth he's made since getting out and glorifying his crimes, pay that to the victims of his crimes. I know that isn't an isolated thing, freezing money, those who dies. It happens to us all, but that was mentioned on the social media post. His efforts post-release to support victims of institutional child abuse were credible and awesome, and I can't fault that. Started a company to assist this. That's great. If you're abused as a child whilst incarcerated, then I think you deserve compensation. But on the other hand, I fear there may be a heap of false accusations in amongst the real victims. This is just my fears and my thoughts. I'm not basing it on any credible evidence. I fear there may have been cases where alleged victims made up stories of being abused because they were aware of the shitloads of money being paid out to others. Once again, if you were abused, then I feel for you and you deserve the payout. But if you made up a story to get a shitload of cash, then shame on you. I believe there's a change of rule in regards to making claims against the perpetrators who have passed away. They can't make a claim against dead perpetrators now, which I'd assume would be a bit of a hit to the claims department of his company. Having worked in my role now, I have not witnessed any form of sexual abuse towards anyone serving a period of incarceration. It's not to say it doesn't happen or it hasn't happened, just my own personal experience over multiple states. For all you people who feel the need to get stuck into me about my thoughts, please remember that everyone has an opinion and we are entitled to share it. Hang on to the good stuff he did and remember him for those things. I simply can't sit here and have him painted as some sort of hero when in fact he was a really bad dude at one point and held on to the hatred of law enforcement until the day he died. That's about all I've got for you. Please pass on your thoughts, your experiences with anything that I've spoken about in this quick post. I'll be glad to hear from anybody and we can maybe set up a bit of a chat and have a chat about it in more detail. Thanks for your time, guys. Bye.